not sure if I can still hear from you, but if you're just coming on the line, introduce yourself. I think I may be on mute now as far as your lines, but let's try. Anybody who's coming on here? At the end of the call, attempt to bring it open again and see if I can hear from you. It was great hearing all of the upcoming events and the promotions, making sure that each of you are putting that on the events calendar in the back office so that we can all see them, not only those that are on the call this morning, the Go Diamond call, but for all of those that maybe don't have a chance to join us in the morning. So make sure you're putting those on the events calendar, very easy to do through your back office, and post those so all can see. My name's Karen Hill. I'm a double diamond up just outside of Toronto in Canada, and as I talked a little bit last week about the concept of making this call a very skills-based call, and certainly last week we learned about the skill of presenting using the Success magazine. We're going to continue with that theme, and in fact I want to quote a statistic as we get started this morning, which I think is very interesting, and that statistic is that 98% of all network marketers are unskilled and uneducated in the field of network marketing. You know, there's nothing but signing that application form and you are a distributor or a consultant within the company that you join. And so 98% of the individuals are unskilled and uneducated because there is no course. You don't have to pass an exam before you can call yourself a network marketer. And I think that's very interesting. Imagine if we had that in other aspects of our lives. For some of you, you may be going out to dinner this evening. Can you imagine what it would be like if you went out to a fine dining location and you encountered a chef who had no skills? What if you have to go to the doctor today and he is performing surgery? Can you imagine if that doctor had no skills? What are the chances of that surgery being successful? What are the chances of that meal being spectacular? They're not very good if they don't have any skills, and so the same is true here. Just because you become a distributor or become a consultant by signing that application, you really need to understand that there's a number of skills that you need to develop so that we can grow. I find it interesting that we grow even despite that. You know, despite the fact that there is no university, there is no exam, we thrive as an industry. I find that very interesting. But imagine where we could all go if everyone made a commitment to developing the skills. And so that's what these Thursday calls are going to be all about, is developing the skills that you require to be part of network marketing. And I think one of the skills that is absolutely essential is being able to answer the following 4 questions. First question, is this network marketing? Second question, is Zija a pyramid? Third question, that's just a scam, isn't it? And fourth question, you'll never make any money. I can't see you making any money. Why would I want to be in this company if I can't be at the top or be the first person in? So those are the questions, those are that need to be answered. And if you don't feel that you have the skill, hopefully after today's call, you'll feel that you have a skill set that can allow you to answer any one of those very difficult questions that often arise when someone's brand new. But first, I think you need a little bit of history on the industry of network marketing. I think it's important because it's the history that will allow you to answer those questions. And one of the first things I want to kind of address is the difference between network marketing or direct sales. Direct sales has been in existence for well over a century now. Network marketing is a little newer. In fact, the first company that you can really trace to a strong network marketing tie occurred during the mid-1940s. But the industry that we represent has been going on for well over a century. So what's the difference between direct sales and network marketing? When we look at network marketing primarily pays on an organization. That's how you create significant income. It's not through the sale of a product, it's through the development of an organization or a team. Direct sales, on the other hand, pays significantly, and their primary source of income is on a personal sale. So it's the sale that you make personally to someone. Network marketing is global distribution. So the ability to develop an organization that is global in nature. Direct sales, however, is very local in distribution because it relies on you personally selling to someone. It is a very local distribution. Network marketing, obviously, if you're going to be global distribution, you have to have a product line that doesn't have to experience the product before they necessarily purchase it. So nutritional supplements, skincare, cleaning products, those are all products that I don't have to sniff them, I don't have to feel them, I don't have to experience them to be able to purchase them. In the case of direct sales, the products are more touch-feely type products. So, for instance, clothing, cosmetics, so color cosmetics, candles. You want to smell what the candle smells like. You want to make sure that the clothing is going to fit. So it's more of a touch and feel type of a product. Network marketing is direct to the customer. So the distribution goes directly from the company to the customer. In the case of direct sales, it often goes through the consultant or through the party host. So those are some of the basic differences between the two. And like I said, network marketing can trace its roots back to the mid-40s. Direct selling goes back literally a century plus. And when we look at MLM in particular, or network marketing, in 1943 there was a company called Nutrilite. Nutrilite Food Company was its full name, and it originally started as a direct sales company, but it restructured in 43 to reflect a network marketing model because of what was occurring from a referral standpoint. And so that's when they restructured. And then in 1956, that company was joined by Dr. Forrest Shackley, who wanted to distribute his products, and many of you may be familiar with not only that Nutrilite name, but the Shackley name. And then in 1959, two former distributors of that Nutrilite product decided to start their own company, Rich and Jay, and you know them as the owners of a new company called Amway. And I find it very interesting when you read the history about Amway, that name came from the combination of two words, the American way. American way. And that's how we developed Amway. And that's the early history of the industry. There's a lot that goes in between that. I'm going to give you some lists of some books at the end here that you can read and really get a feel for it. But those companies really started to pave the way. And then there were a number of court decisions that really determined that this was a legitimate method of distribution. And I'm going to highlight three of them that made a significant difference. In 1974, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, shut down a couple of early companies called Costco and Holiday Magic. And those two companies I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And then in 1975, the Federal Trade Commission went on a 4-year legal battle against the Amway Corporation that I just introduced you to a few minutes ago. And that decision in 1979 determined that Amway was not an illegal pyramid and that network marketing was a legal distribution method of putting products in the hands of the consumer. And the third one I want to talk a little bit about is a company called Jewelway. And so what I want you to understand is the importance of these three different companies. Holiday Magic set the standard to know that we must have a product. That particular company was selling training, and they had huge upfront costs of joining that particular company. But they were literally selling training, and it became very apparent that there must be a product. So there must be a product that is being sold to be a legal distribution, so a product or a service, as it has come to be through the years. Amway, that decision indicated that it was absolutely okay to pay a commission structure like we have in network marketing. But it must be based on the sale of a product and not on recruitment. So if you look at what we have at Zija and look at it as a reference, when you sign someone up as a consultant or a distributor, they can sign up for $39. You don't make a commission because that's them signing up to become a distributor or a consultant. The only time you make a commission is when a product is part of that sign up. So when they come in with a personal system or a Builder 1 or a Builder 2, they are purchasing product, and that is when you make your commissions. So if somebody joins you just paying $39 to become a consultant or a distributor and doesn't buy a product, you don't make a commission. And that is keeping with that Amway decision. It also said that products must be sold at a fair market value. And so you can't sell a product. You know, we couldn't sell our products. Let's say we decided that a case of SmartMix was $5,000. We can't show anywhere else in distribution where a case of SmartMix someone would be paying $5,000 on a store shelf, for instance, or purchasing it through the internet, or however they purchased it. So it has to be at a fair market value. So that's an important component when you've got a legal distribution. The other thing that can't be occurring is a substitute for cash. So there can't be a distribution of, let's say, stock. There can't be a distribution of, let's say, emeralds or diamonds or precious stones that are a substitute for cash. So that is not allowed. It must be a product or a service. And the final decision, the Jewelway one, which I mentioned, it is a decision that says there must be customers within the distribution channel that you have. And so in the case of Zija, we have preferred customers. They don't make a commission. And that's an important piece on being a legitimate network marketing company, is that we have customers that don't make commissions. Only our distributors make commissions. And so those are very important cases, and I've just kind of skimmed over them, but they are absolutely essential that you understand that it's important to have a customer. It's important to have a product. It's important that the commissions are based on the sale of a product. And it's important that it's not training, that it goes beyond that. It's not a substitute for money. So hopefully that helps you in understanding, because that's really what you need to answer those initial questions. So the question of, is this network marketing? The answer is as simple as this. Absolutely. When someone asks me that question, I answer absolutely. This is network marketing. marketing. What's your experience with the profession? And I wait. Because some people are just waiting. I mean, they love network marketing. They have heard about us and they want to know, is this network marketing? So some people, it's a very positive question that they're answering. So don't automatically assume that it's a negative question. For many, it's a very positive question. For others, you want to find out where their understanding is of the industry. And so some of the things that I've shared with you will be helpful as you share with them. But wait and see what that question is all about is basically what I'm saying. So when someone asks, is this network marketing? Answer, absolutely. What's your experience with the profession? And wait for their answer. The second question, is Zija a pyramid? My answer to that is thankfully no. It's exactly what I was trying to get away from, is that pyramid structure of corporate America. And then I want you to literally draw out for someone the difference. And so if you've got a piece of paper and a pencil in front of you, I want you to draw a great big pyramid on it. And I want you to explain corporate America, and one of the easiest ways that I explain the pyramid of corporate America is that it starts with a salesman. So let's say you're deciding that you're going to purchase a car, and you make that decision to go purchase that car. The person that you talk to is the salesman, and they're at the bottom layer of that pyramid, right? Up above the salesman is the sales manager. And the sales manager certainly assists the salesman. They help them to develop their skills to be able to sell cars. And so you may or may not talk to that sales manager, but they're up above the salesperson in the dealership. And there'll be many sales individuals in a dealership. There may only be one sales manager. Sometimes there's more than one sales manager if the dealership is large. But that's the next level. Up above that in the pyramid is the dealership owner. So there's only one person, or maybe occasionally it's a group of individuals that own that dealership. But that owner, you probably never talk to when you go in and purchase that car. They, however, are part of the process because they provide the dealership lot, the building, the location for you to go and look at the cars. They carry the overhead. They do a variety of things, and they create an income. Up above that dealership owner is the regional, let's say you're buying a GM product, the regional managers for GM, maybe they're regional managers for territories, maybe they're regional managers for some of the different aspects, financing for instance, but there's regional sales type managers. Up above that, there's a layer of VPs. I mean, the car has to get manufactured, so there's somebody that's the VP of manufacturing. There's someone else that's the VP of design because they have to come up with new models and new makes and new designs. There's VPs of financing. You know, you're going in to purchase that car because you realize that there was a interest-free program on. So there's VPs of financing. There's all kinds of different VPs that are part of that structure, up above, obviously, the regional managers, and up above the dealership owners, and up above the sales manager and the salesperson that you actually talk to. And then at the very peak of that pyramid, that corporate America pyramid, is the CEO. There's only one of them. You're probably never going to talk to them when you go to purchase that car. But what's interesting when you look at that pyramid is the salesperson sells you a car and they receive a commission on Friday. They probably receive the largest because they had the direct interaction with you, so they create the largest income on the sale of that car. But the sales manager up above, the salesperson creates an income. They get a little bit less maybe of each one of the sales that all the salespeople in the dealership do throughout that week, but they get paid. The dealership owner creates a profit. The regional managers within GM are getting paid every Friday. They've never made a sale, but they're getting paid because they've supported the sale that the salesman has made. And up above that, you've got your VPs and your CEO. The CEO never makes a sale, but they support and provide the opportunity for the salesman and to make that sale. So they're providing the skills, they're providing the support, all the different things that occur in making those sales, and every single person gets paid in that pyramid. The unfortunate part of that pyramid, though, is that what do you think the chances are of that salesman becoming the CEO? Pretty slim. And even if the salesman wants to move up, what do they have to do? They have to knock off the sales manager. There's not room to have 300 or 400 sales managers, so they have to knock them off. If they're going to become the dealership owner, they have to have a huge amount of capital. If they're going to become the CEO, they better have a tremendous amount of schooling. So there's limitations on that pyramid. Is the person on the top making an income based on everything that's going on down below? Absolutely. Now let's take a look at the pyramid that you think as a prospect that CJ is. Let's take a look at it. And you're going to draw the form of the pyramid, but you're going to chop that top half off because it's not there. It doesn't rise to a peak. In fact, it starts as a pyramid, but it has a very open top end where literally anybody that signs up as a distributor can move to the very top of our income structure. And the wonderful thing about it is they don't have to knock anybody off. You become a distributor. To become a Builder 500, you don't have to knock anybody away from that position. To become a diamond, you don't have to knock anybody off. There's room for many diamonds. There's an opportunity for everybody at the very bottom when they're starting to move to the top. And yes, the individuals that are silver are getting paid on individuals that are down below them that may be bronzes or maybe Builder 1000s or maybe brand new distributors, but they're helping that person. The only time they get paid is if there is a sale by the person below them. If they help that person succeed first, they will create an income. And so absolutely, is there an ability to rise to the top? Yes. Absolutely, can you get paid on a team? Absolutely, yes. But are there the limitations of corporate America? No. And that's why I love this industry so much. So when people ask me, is it a pyramid? I say, thankfully, no, it's not a pyramid. It's not exactly like corporate America. In fact, I was trying to get away from the limitations that corporate America brings. And so that's how you're going to answer that question. Number 3, is it a scam? No, it's the legal distribution of products directly to the customer. And you can go back to some of those things that I referred to in the history and the fact that the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, in that Amway decision in 1979 declared that this is an absolutely legal method of distribution. Now, will there be people that will fail at this and call it a scam? Absolutely. You know, most people know that there are franchise owners who fail. Does that mean that that franchise is a scam? No. It just means that the franchise owner probably didn't follow the system that those other franchisees that are successful have followed. So it's the same as with franchises. There are failures in franchises. There are failures in traditional business. But if you follow a system in the industry of franchising, chances are you'll have success like previous people before you have done. And that's exactly the same here. You know, you got to take action. When you decide that you're going to build a business, and that's what this is a business, you must take action, and you must take the appropriate action. So follow that system, and you will have success. It's not a scam. It's real, but it is a real business. The last questions, you'll never make any money, only those on the top. Go back to that pyramid answer that I just gave you and share examples of people who have exceeded their sponsors. And if you can't think of any of those examples, listen to the stories that are shared, or go to the magazine, the Success magazine that we talked about last week, and turn to page 68. And there's a 2-page spread on a gentleman by the name of Joel McNish. He's a Diamond Elite. He joined this company last year. You saw him for the first time at convention. He's moved all the way up to Diamond Elite. Were there people here before him? There were thousands. Thousands of individuals over the last 6 years joined before Joel did. The opportunity to succeed here exists every single day that someone signs an application. There's no limitations on you need to be in first. There's no limitations on going to the top. The ability exists for virtually everyone. So think about the examples that are out there that you may know of within your own organization. Maybe you've succeeded or passed the person that sponsored you. You know, if you're on this Go Diamond call, you may just have done that yourself. So use those examples when someone suggests that or asks that particular question. I want to go over quickly some books that you may consider reading. The first list is books on the industry of network marketing in general. So often you hear recommendations on personal development books. These are recommendations on understanding and learning the skill that it takes to answer the questions that I talked about at the beginning of this call. So the first ones are overall on the industry. The first one is The Business of the 21st Century, and that's by Robert Kiyosaki. The next one is The Next Millionaires, Paul Zane Pilsner. Some of you may have seen him. He was actually at our convention not this past year, but the year before. The New Professionals, The New Entrepreneurs, Being the Best You Can Be in MLM, by a good friend of mine, John Kalich. Passed away way too soon, but left us with a couple of incredible books, and that's one of them. Wave 4, Network Marketing in the 21st Century, and Your First Year in Network Marketing, by another friend of mine, Mark Yarnell. So some really good general reading would suggest that if you're at all struggling with the question, or people in your organizations are struggling with that question of, you know, is this network marketing, is it a pyramid, is this a scam? All of those questions can be addressed by developing the skills and fully understanding the industry of network marketing. So if you read those books, I know you'll understand it. And then there are many books on the companies that have been our forerunners and have got us to where we are today. So I talked about Rich, and I talked a little bit about the Amway Corporation. There are many books in regards to them. Empire of Freedom is a great one on the general story of Amway. Rexall's story, Miracles Happen, which is Mary Kay Ash or Mary Kay. The Excel Phenomenal. There's a number of books on the forerunners in our industry of network marketing. Again, some great reads so that you can understand how we have got to where we are today, and what an incredible opportunity this is that really allows us to even the playing field. It's the last opportunity, and I'm going to talk a little bit next week about the cash flow quadrant. I think it's an important skill to understand, again, as you're explaining this industry, and I just didn't have time to do it today, so I will do it next week, so tune in next week. Want to encourage you to listen to Dr. Josh Plott a little bit later today if you haven't had a chance to tune in to one of his calls. But be sure to listen to that call. Also want to encourage you to take a look at the Life Unlimited tour stops we heard at the beginning of this call. November 2nd in Atlanta. November 7th, we're going to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And November 9th, we're going to be in Greensboro, North Carolina. We also have some international meetings going on. November 2nd, Ryan Palmer will be in Mexico. And November 9th, Ryan Palmer and Josh Plott will be in Australia. November 9th, they're in Sydney. November 12th, they're in Brisbane. And November 14th, they're in Adelaide. So if you don't know anybody personally, start asking the question. Who do you know in Mexico? I'm looking for a business partner in Mexico. I'm looking for a business partner in Australia. Anybody have any connections? Hopefully I'll see some of you asking that on your social media sites over the next few days. And you can do the same with Greensboro and Grand Rapids and Atlanta. Who do you know? I'm looking for a business partner in the Atlanta area. Any suggestions? I mean, start asking those questions so that you can be putting people in the seats in those particular locations over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to open up the call line and see if anyone has any announcements or any questions. Hold on here.
Hello, Sharon. This is Dave Albany.
Hey, Dave.
We have EDB second and November 9th here in California. The best of the event center. Also, we have the tour here in California in Emeryville on November 23rd. If you're in California or within 300 miles there, you should send somebody there because, as you know, we're over the top and going phenomenal. And thank you so much for your training. You're a true asset to this company, and I'm grateful to have you on this line.
Thanks, David. Any other announcements out there?
Morning. Georgia. Josh.
Thank you, Karen, for great fresh informational call this morning. Very important information. Thank you very much. Hazel Harry, Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Karen and Graham Maniscalco Show. You are awesome and you speak eloquently. Thank you for your information.
Thanks, Karen.
Great California, great call. Thanks, Karen. Great call. See you last week. Now don't go back.
Great call.
Karen, I think we